Hey there, it's James Taylor here, keynote speaker on creativity, innovation, and future trends. Today, I'm in Mexico City, here in wonderful Mexico, and I'm here because I'm going to be keynoting a conference this afternoon. This conference is called Crevolution. And it's a conference, it brings together the top people in financial services, banking, credit unions, credit agencies here across Mexico. And it's a very interesting event. So I'm going to be talking specifically about the Metaverse and what the Metaverse and things like Web3 means for banks, financial services, companies, etc. And I'm going to be talking about how we need to apply our creativity that we're born with, as well as having quite a data-driven approach, and how those things combine to create these amazing experiences. Now, if you don't know what the Metaverse is, go and check out some of my previous videos and some of my blog articles on jamestaylor.me, and it kind of goes a little bit more in depth on that and some of the speeches that I give on the Metaverse and things like Web3. But one of the interesting things about this particular event is they're doing it in a 360-degree stage. So this is where you're basically speaking in the round, as it's sometimes called. The stage is right in the middle. We have the screens above us as a speaker, and the audience is all around us. Now, this does a couple of interesting things. The first is, from the audience's standpoint, it's great because you get much closer to the stage. It's almost a slightly more intimate feel when you do that as well. It's something the client really wanted to do. They wanted to create that sense of, because people haven't been together for a while, bringing people back together and having that sense of intimacy as well. And you can do that with 360-degree stages. The second thing, though, is it can be challenging for the professional speaker that you're bringing in to speak. Now, if you're not bringing in a professional speaker, it's going to be even more challenging for them. And there's a couple of reasons for this. The first, if someone is not a professional speaker, when they go on to a circular stage like that, they can freak out. Because if you think about it, many people are scared to speak anyway. If you think about the reasons behind that, you know, if we go back to our ancestors, we might be on the Serengeti plain, and you always wanted to have cover. So the idea about being in the middle of nowhere, there's no cover, is kind of, from a flight and flight perspective, is kind of daunting. So the idea of being on a stage on your own with a big light on you, where everyone can see you, where there's nowhere to hide, that can be scary for a lot of people. But then you add to that the fact that you're completely surrounded, and it's the reason why a lot of non-professional speakers and some professional speakers get really worried about speaking on these 360-degree stages. So if you do have to go and speak on one of these stages, I want to give you a couple of pieces of advice. The first is you have to get comfortable with the fact that at different points you're going to be having your back to different parts of the audience. It's just the way it works when you do that. So the way that I would do it, and the way I'm going to be doing it, is at different points in my speech, I basically block up my speech. So I think, okay, at this point, I want to be facing this quarter of the audience. I want to kind of stand there, be strong, hit my lines, go through my slides, and after a few minutes, I'll move clockwise and go to that next quarter of the room, share the idea, share the slides, whatever I'm looking to do, and then I'll move around again to the next quarter of the room, and gradually, and basically that way you get a chance to kind of speak to all the different parts of the room as well. But the second one, and this is a great piece of advice that came from Frederick Haren, who's a friend of mine, a wonderful speaker on creativity as well. And he said, not to forget the fact that we've got cameras in this room as well. And from my perspective, this is also going to be a bit of a hybrid event. So there'll be 400 people in the room, but there'll be many, many more people watching virtually. So as a speaker, we have to keep in mind, where are those cameras? In this case, there's going to be 3 cameras in this room. So I need to know what is what's called close-up camera. So when I land those really key lines, I really want to push ahead, I want people to remember, I need to be at that point of the stage facing towards that camera, so I can almost look down the barrel of that camera and land that line. So it's a few kind of complexities. So I would say, if you haven't spoken on those stages before, ask if you can just spend a little bit of time, the day before or in the morning of the event. I was there this morning, just getting a sense of the stage, getting a feel of that stage, and it just makes you feel a bit more comfortable when you're doing that, and start to block out your speech, the different parts that you're going to be speaking on. But done well, it can actually be great fun. I say it feels like I'm speaking in my living room, because everyone's feeling like they're around me. So it creates a sense of intimacy. And if you're in Mexico and you want to bring me to come and speak at your next event, please just head over to jamestaylor.me. Or perhaps you're interested in bringing in a keynote speaker to talk about things like the Metaverse and Web3, blockchain. some of those areas innovation and creativity that relate to those areas, then just go to jamestaylor.me again and check out some of my information on my Metaverse keynotes. So from here in wonderful Mexico City, my name's James Taylor. Thanks so much for watching.